Hello, and thank you so much for joining me for this WNCT Now Digital News Update. I'm Emily Severidge, live in our digital studio. Earlier today, Governor Roy Cooper and his coronavirus task force held the last press briefing of 2020 to discuss the newest COVID-19 numbers in the state. Here's what Governor Cooper had to say.
Mortality numbers show starkly this is a matter of life or death. As this pandemic continues to take lives and livelihoods, many people are struggling to make ends meet. Financial challenges are difficult at any time, but especially during the holidays. In an effort to ease some of that burden, I have signed an executive order to extend the state's eviction moratorium through January 31st of 2021. Too many families are living on the edge, trying to do the right thing, but left with impossible choices. This order will help them stay in their homes, which is essential to slowing the spread of the virus. Earlier this year, my administration created the HOPE program to help both renters struggling to make ends meet and landlords who depend on income. This program provides payments directly to landlords and utility companies, and over 21,000 renters so far have been notified that they're going to receive help amounting to $37.4 million. The overwhelming need for this assistance versus the money that we had meant the program had to stop taking applications. But fortunately, help from Washington is finally on the way, and we look forward to opening it back up.
Here are the latest numbers for today in the state. According to state health officials, hospitalizations did go down slightly today. That number is currently over 3,300. This time last month, there were under 2,000. But a new staggering statistic is the number of new cases. Since yesterday, there have been over 8,500 new lab-confirmed cases. In the state of North Carolina, there are currently more than 530,000 total cases. That's out of over 6.8 million completed tests in the state. Today is also the highest daily percentage positive rate that we've seen in the state since the start of the pandemic. It's at 14.8%. That's almost triple the rate that health officials say it should be. According to a weekly federal survey, nearly 1 in 5 hospitals across North Carolina say that they're at least 90% full. The data from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services covers the 7-day period that ended December 24th. Of the 106 hospitals that responded to the federal survey, 20 of them report that at least 90% of their average daily adult inpatient beds were occupied. On Tuesday, 2 Johnston County hospitals said they had reached capacity due to the growing number of COVID patients. Hospitals in the East are looking at high percent capacities as well. Vidant Hospital in Tarboro reported 98.4% full. Wilson Medical Center reports 96%, and Pam Specialty Hospital in Rocky Mount is reporting 92.3%. Stay with us, and we'll be right back with some more news after this short break.
Side reporters are all across the East.
In Beaufort County, in Morehead City, in Belhaven,
And in your neighborhood.
on the New River,
In Snow Hill,
in New Bern,
in Jacksonville.
Covering local stories that impact you.
Well, this race was by no means a close one.
The polls opened at 6:30 this morning, and people even lined up outside of this site.
Some veterans are now joining a fight against a new enemy, the coronavirus pandemic.
See their original reporting weekdays on 9 on Your Side News.
Thanks so much for joining me. If you're just tuning in, I'm Emily Severidge, live in our digital studio, bringing you some evening updates. WNCT is bringing you live-streamed updates every Monday through Friday at 1:30 p.m. and 4 o'clock p.m. to bring you the latest and up-to-date news before our nightly newscast. We are learning more about the Nashville bomber. Officials say this was not the first time police had received complaints about Anthony Warner making bombs in his RV. Recently revealed documents show that Metro Nashville police had been called to Warner's home before, and comments were made about him making bombs. Back in August of 2019, Warner's girlfriend told police that he was building bombs in his RV on the property. Warner was not home at the time, but police did take notice of an RV parked in the backyard and several security cameras. The following week, the Hazardous Devices Unit was called in to check into the complaint, but Warner's attorney would not allow them to search his client's RV. Metro Police said there was no pure evidence of a crime at that time, so no further action was taken. After serving the Carteret County community and those in need for over 16 years, a local food pantry is closing its doors. The Active Christians Together Serving Food Pantry opened in the town of Betty after Hurricane Isabel. Owners said they saw a need after the storm damaged the community and chose to open to help others better. But a lack of workers, volunteers, and a decrease in families seeking help forced the pantry to close. Director Hazel Arthur said it was hard. They would prepare enough food for 15 to 20 families, and only about 2 or 3 would show up. Arthur said she's cried and cried over having to shut her doors because she knows that there are still people that depend on them for food. Arthur will hand out the last of meals from the pantry on Thursday, New Year's Eve, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. All leftover food will be donated to another food pantry. Well, that wraps up this WNCT Now Evening Update. We have more news coming up for you tonight on our broadcast at 5 and 6. Thanks so much for watching.